Hello, good afternoon, and welcome to another Wisdom Wednesday. We are actually on the campus here at Unity Naples. We are in the gathering room. We're so very grateful that you are joining us here this evening, and I get the honor and the privilege of hanging out with this beautiful, magnificent being who many of you know already, who I feel like I've known forever, Reverend Eileen Chernow. And so thank you so much, Reverend Eileen, for being with us here today. Anything that you want to say by way of hello?
Yeah, of course I do. Yes, hello. I am so pleased. Oh my gosh, I don't even know where to start. I'm just so excited to be on this campus. I'm so excited that I was even invited to do this Wisdom Wednesday with Reverend Claudia. I love it here. I miss all of you, and I hope I'm going to be seeing more of you. That would be a wonderful thing. So I could go on, Claudia. You have to shut me off here.
No. You'll know when I do that.
Okay.
This is just a free flow experience. And so, we have an audience that is joining us. We'll invite them to go ahead and, check in, say hello to us, and just know that we love and appreciate you. We know that your time is precious. And so we're just so grateful that you've decided to spend time with us. And for those of you who may not know Rev Eileen, that she was actually on staff here on the ministerial team at Unity Naples and was part of this community for 10 years and is still a part of our community because you're doing a book study that is that meets each week, and you can get that information on our website, unitynaples.org. And the connection, what we know is that there's no time, space, or distance in spirit. So we know that we're always connected, and so grateful that you continue to be a part of our community, though you don't live here, currently. So Rev Eileen is here from the Cleveland area. Is that correct?
That is correct.
And you live on Lake Erie.
I live right on Lake Erie. That's my front yard.
Yeah.
And many things go on Lake Erie.
So any of those who are on Lake Erie or up in that area, give a shout out. And we're going to go ahead and we're going to have a great conversation today. But we're going to begin where we always begin, which is with a centering song. So we're going to bring Amy and Jesse in, and they're going to help us center, and then we'll move right into prayer. Hey, Amy. Hey, Jesse.
Hello, all. Welcome to Wisdom Wednesday. We are so happy to be here with you. We are grateful for you. This service this Sunday was so special, welcoming our new members, the message itself of being grateful in all things. So let's center ourselves in that. Let's take a deep breath and out. Big deep breath. And closing the eyes. I want you to think about something that you need to be grateful in, an experience, a person. Put your attention on that and see the greatness in it, the message that's there for you. Deep breath. Grateful, I'm grateful, I'm grateful. Grateful, I'm grateful, I am grateful. My gift to you is gratitude.
Mm, that is so beautiful. So how grateful we are in this holy instant, that in this moment of turning within, that we turn within to the same place and that we meet at the heart and mind of God. We meet in the eternal Spirit, the arms of the everlasting beloved presence that is creator of all that is and sustains everything in its perfection, in its wholeness and harmony. And how grateful I am to remember that we are each a divine emanation of this source of creator, that each of us is beloved, that we may hear the whisper of the voice that says, "You are my beloved in whom I am so well pleased." And so how grateful I am to come together in this sacred and holy family, to come together as community, and to remember together the truth that sets us free, that God and I, Spirit and I, are indeed one. And it is in this oneness that we meet. It is from this unified consciousness that I bless this time together. How grateful I am for this divine emanation that is known as Rev Eileen. How grateful I am for her presence, for her wisdom, and for the opportunity to connect with her in this unique way. And how grateful I am for each and every person that is with us in this holy instant and that will join us in this vibratory field, in the space of timelessness, whenever that is. That somehow we are each touched, moved, and inspired by this conversation, by our connection with one another, by the sharing, and that we may feel a sense of belonging and knowing that we are indeed loved, indeed loving and lovable now and forevermore. I claim and say that something wonderful and magnificent is happening. And so we take a breath together. Something wonderful and magnificent is happening. A shift is occurring, has occurred, such that we are somehow made new in this moment. And as I am made new, as we are made new, we cast forth the blessing that we are upon all of creation and know that all of creation is blessed just by this connection and gathering established here. So this time is duly blessed. We are each a blessing. And we release this word and we know that it returns fulfilled. And so it is. Amen. 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 And so we take this breath and we begin to open the body eyes and we look at one another and how grateful we are. Yeah.
Wow. Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you so much for that beautiful prayer full of gratitude.
Yes.
Just as you said on Sunday.
Yes.
I don't wait until the fourth part of the prayer.
Right.
Gratitude is a part of the entire prayer.
Yes.
And
yes.
Why not?
Yes.
Why not? Right?
Yeah.
You know, I took some notes.
Awesome.
Because I loved what you said on Sunday. And I wanted to make sure that I asked you a couple of questions about that. Okay. So one of the things I thought was really wonderful that you said was gratitude is like looking out at the world with innocence. And do you remember saying that?
I believe that I said that. Yeah. I believe that is something that I would say.
Right. And it's just, do you want to just say anything about that?
Yeah.
Just a little more?
Yeah. So what I believe about gratitude is that gratitude and the grace of gratitude, you know, so to bring the entire title of the conversation, when we are in grace, when we understand grace, that when we understand that everything is already given, and that we don't need to do anything or be a certain way, that there is this innate aspect of the self. The divine self is really what I call it, the divine self, that when we are aligned and attuned in that consciousness, and gratitude helps us to align in that. The gratitude is coming from the consciousness of our divine identity. And when we are in that place, it is almost like the gratitude washes the lenses of our eyes such that we can see with the eyes of Christ, which would see in innocence, would see one another, our brothers and sisters, from the innocence and purity from which we were created. Yeah. So that's what I mean by that.
Yeah. I love that you just said that washes like the lenses, because it clears away what we're thinking and takes us to a higher place. Wow. Thank you for going into that a little more.
You're
that was
welcome.
wonderful.
Thanks for the question.
Sure.
Yeah.
And you know what? I loved too when you said, because this has always been important to me, that Jesus, before any miracle, always looked up and gave thanks, believing that it already happened. And I love that you brought that up and talked about the loaves and fishes.
Yes.
And we could talk about all of Jesus's miracles,
Yeah.
you know, the wedding feast at Cana and all of that. And I just have the feeling that you incorporate that into your life. And I wondered if you wanted to just say a little bit more about that. She had no idea what I was asking.
No.
So,
yeah. I'm like, is that what you were going to get? Little heads up, Eileen.
I know. I'm
I'm
just
joking.
saying, never mind, lady. We're moving on. Why did you do this?
Well, no, I mean, that's a perfect question, because like we collectively can talk about these things. And the fifth principle of unity is that we become the embodiment of the teaching, that we don't just talk about the teaching, but that it is how we live our lives. And I think that that is the benefit of being in spiritual community, because then we have a common language, or we can point to a message that we collectively experience together. And remember when it was said, you know, and the reminder that Jesus looked up and gave thanks in advance. And so how do we do that in our lives? And I can say that almost every message that I give is somehow working me in, you know, in that way. They always say, be very careful about the, you know, because you pick the title or you have the theme, you know, months in advance, or at least a month in advance, you know, and yet the talk doesn't, it starts working you the minute you name it, the minute you put it out there. And so for me, you know, there's been so many changes in our lives. And, you know, I've shared with you that we're kind of in between different houses, and the outer of our lives, the conditions of our lives, and sometimes the story that we can tell about it, that I can tell about my life right now, while it's magnificent in many ways, there are some things that feel uncomfortable and amiss, right? And so it's in those moments that I have to remind myself to look up. And as we talked about in the message, is not looking up to a God outside of myself, but it's looking up above the conditions of the world. And so things that feel messy to myself and to my husband, Tony, right now, like, you know, we're in a house and we have like part of our furniture and we still don't have our pots and pans, and, you know, those things that create nurturing in our lives, and that ability to nest, like that came up yesterday, the idea of nesting and how important that is, and how when we don't have that ability, we can become off balance. And so how that's the giving of thanks right now in my life is that, you know, in our home right now, things feel a little messy, and that I can just pause and know that that's temporary, and that I can look up, and in this, you know, in all things give thanks. Not that I'm giving thanks from the consciousness of messiness, but I'm giving thanks from the consciousness of the grace that is already given. And I know that in my divine nature, that none of that really matters. And sometimes it's hard for people to hear the conditions of my life don't really matter. And why don't they matter? Because they're already in the can. They're the effect of the thought pattern that I've had, that I have the ability to look up and remind myself that I'm above the conditions, and that I can remember that when I look up and I give thanks for the order that already exists in our lives. Behold, I make all things new, and that order begins to become a part of my new vision then. Does that answer your question?
Oh my gosh. Yes. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Do you have that as an experience in your life?
Yeah. Looking above the condition.
Mm-hmm,
yeah. It's not looking up to God. God's everywhere, right?
Right.
So we're not looking up to God, but look above the condition. And you've said, because I'm watching every Sunday. I'm with you every Sunday, everybody. I get to see the back of your heads from Cleveland, Ohio. But the energy, how many thousands some miles away, the energy comes through. And honestly, I have to look above the condition that I'm really not with you, but that I am. And that, but I want to be a part of that. And that energy comes through. So in my life, if I'm able to look above the condition, then I can keep that a beautiful, positive energy that keeps flowing and doesn't get stagnant. Because I could get stagnant very easily if I got stuck in the situation.
So you and your husband, Gary, prove in that moment that there really is no time, space, or distance, that in that moment, you can look above that condition and then be available to open to the energy that you said.
The energy, the vibration, and feel it. Now, I have to tell you, Sunday was out of this world because I'm the energy, to be in the energy as it's happening. But with everything that's been happening with new systems being put into place and stuff, it's coming through so well. So well.
Oh, good.
So, yeah, I meant to tell you that.
Oh, yay. Yay.
And I love that you said, too, gratitude is for us, not for God's sake.
Yeah.
And I don't mean for God's sake. I mean, it's for us. Gratitude is for us. I love that you said that because it takes us to a different place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it takes us out of obligation. It takes us out of, I should be grateful. Is something wrong with me because I'm not grateful or feeling grateful? And, into that, no, it's the act of bringing ourselves to the concept of gratitude that actually is what shifts the experience, that it becomes like this alchemizing shapeshifter that helps us have a miracle, which is the shift of perception. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that's right.
I'm trying to put this right. Yeah. So I'm giving you my full attention.
Oh,
which you brought up.
Yeah.
How important full attention is. And that's something I work on because if I'm coaching somebody, it's not a problem. But if there's a lot of people around me, it's harder to give full attention. And I've noticed that about you, that you are able to give full attention. I've noticed that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Well, it's something I work on, and it was modeled to me when I was in Reverend Michael Beckwith's community, Agape International, and at that time it was in Culver City, and there were thousands of people, there on a Sunday. And I used to watch Reverend Michael, that after the service, when people would come up to him, even though there was a line and a lot of commotion around, he gave them, whoever was right in front of him, his full attention and appreciation. And that is a teaching that Tony and I teach together and is part of, A Course in Miracles too. And I can think of no better way to honor somebody then doing that. And when I became a minister and was in that role, I'm so grateful I had that modeled to me, because a lot of people are around you, but if I can be present to who's right in front of me, and
So important for the person to be seen and heard. So important.
Yeah.
That's wonderful. Well, that just about does it for me.
Oh, good.
I mean, I could come up with more things, you know, but I think, just a comment that you have said how important it is to infuse gratitude into prayer, and how important gratitude really is, and you can't be depressed if you're grateful. Those two don't go together. So and when I don't mean a deep depression here, I'm just talking about depressed about something. Maybe it's a rainy day or whatever. But just being able to be grateful. So I love that you say, you infuse the prayer with gratitude all the way through. Yeah. All the way through. Yeah. Wonderful.
Thank you. Well, I'm glad that it was meaningful to you. Yeah. And I wondered did you have the opportunity to write a gratitude letter during the service? We
did.
If you weren't there, there was a study which I didn't share. I think it was it was entitled Expanding Gratitude. And part of the study had three groups. Individuals who were seeking counseling. So there was, a mental health issue or an emotional health issue that they were seeking counseling for. And one group was a control group. And so I think they just got the counseling. And then another group was asked to write a thank you letter once a week, just write a thank you letter. And then they did some testing around, how they do in a study. And what the result was that, writing a gratitude letter or just, gratitude in general, helped people disengage from toxic emotions. And it had a lasting effect. It was something that, wasn't like, oh, I got the benefit and then it subsided. It built something within them that started to shift and change them. So I wondered what your experience of that was and what you might think about the whole idea.
Well, I think it's absolutely wonderful. And I think writing something puts it on a different level too than just saying it, So, I wrote one and I gave it to a person that hasn't been to church here for a long time, thanking her for being brave enough to come back to this wonderful community and to be with us. And it was so funny because she gave me one. Thanking me that I insisted that she come. So that was just such a
perfect.
That was very sweet. Yeah. And then I had a couple of others. So receiving, not only writing them, but receiving them. Oh my gosh.
It's good.
It's such a wonderful feeling, isn't it? When people are grateful for whatever it is that you can do in their lives for them. If it's just a smile is so important.
Well, thank you.
Oh, you're very welcome.
I want to share gratitude now. I'm grateful to you. So Reverend Eileen holds a very special place in my heart because it was, I'd say 4 years ago that I interviewed with you and the Board of Unity Naples at that time for a position here as a senior minister of the community. And for several reasons, it just wasn't the right timing, for the community or for myself, and my husband and I, went in a different direction. But I joked with people, you and I created a connection. And I mean, she was just this little picture on a Zoom meeting, and some emails, but there was a connection, and you're very powerful, loving. And I was so grateful for that. And so we kind of met then. And then back in February, when I visited the community, which was a day that you just happened to be here because you had already moved to Cleveland.
I was visiting the community.
And so was I. And there we were in the congregation together. And I just felt like an immediate connection again. And it was part of what eventually resulted in me coming to this community. And so I want to say how grateful I am for all of that, but that you are here this week and that you were a part of the community live in person on Sunday, you and Gary, and that it was just wonderful to see you there and to see and to hear and to know how you've touched so many lives in this community, and how grateful I am for that and for your presence. So thanks for coming back here and hanging out with us, right? Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. I mean, I was coming into town to officiate a wedding, and I said, there is no way I am going to just do that and leave. I'm going to be here for 2 weeks. I need to be here for 2 Sundays. I need to see all of you, the ones I know, the ones behind masks that I still recognize you through your eyes, and those that are new here. So exciting. And to see all 14 people become new members.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I was blown away and so excited.
Yeah.
So I am grateful.
Yeah.
It's going to be hard to leave.
I know.
I hate to tell you that.
We're not going to let her go, are we?
I mean, I may shed a tear or two as I get on that plane,
Yeah.
But you know what? I am so grateful that I can see you on Sundays, that every Sunday, Gary and I sit like little soldiers ready. We sing, we dance, we participate 100%.
That's great.
And,
that's awesome.
And love it. So, technology, wonderful.
Yeah. We're so grateful for the crew that helps us.
Don't ever stop doing that. Okay?
Yeah. Okay.
And then, also, with the book study that I can still, even during COVID, we just kept on going because of Zoom.
So it was a gift that you had the technology, but that you also had the desire to do that. And I know that it was meaningful to this community. And so I'm so grateful. Yeah. And then on Saturday, I'm really excited. Just the title of Reverend Eileen is going to do a workshop this Saturday. And can you tell us a little bit about that?
Sure. So this is new for me. I've not done this workshop ever before. And I'm going to be talking about what neuroscientists have been studying, especially at Jefferson University in Philadelphia, on the overstimulated nervous system and how it's taking our brain out of balance. And it's with all the anxiety that we've been through and that we still create in our lives. And some of it's become such a pattern now that I'm going to talk about that a little bit. And I find it very exciting that the neuroscientists are saying, gee, there's 18 things you can do to get back into balance. And the first thing is mindfulness. Are we coming together? I mean, I love that. It's so... We'll talk about that, and we're going to go right into how that involves the ego.
Okay.
And the 3 activities of the ego. Now, the ego does a lot of things, but we're going to talk about the 3 activities that kind of create this overstimulation. So I don't want to give too much away.
I was going to say, and you shared what that was with me the other day and the acronym about it. But I think that's something that we'll just kind of keep to Saturday. But, I love that this topic. I think it's timely. And what inspired you personally to be exploring this?
Yeah. So... Wow. Being in touch, well, Look, I have wanted to grow my entire life. I started in the 70s with the Course in Miracles, and I didn't understand one word because that's where I was in my life. And so I put it away.
Uh-huh.
And then I would be called to it again, and I'd bring it out. But I have been a student all my life, and I think I'll be on my deathbed learning something. I know I'll be learning something new there, but that I'll be learning, my whole life. So when I was reading Matt Kahn's book, and he was talking about ego, and he was saying, the ego and the soul really are together in the sense that the soul wants to expand. Look, consciousness is out here already, right? It's up to us to become aware of that consciousness and how ego can help us with that consciousness by letting us know when we're worrying too much and spending all that time with that or regretting or, anticipating all the time. And I thought, I do that. I'm really going to look into this and start watching myself and watch what I do. So because ego does a lot of things, it's that subtle stuff that keeps us, just uptight. And so that's what we're going to be looking at. How we can be aware of putting ourselves in these positions so that we can get out of them. So part of it is loving ourselves.
Yeah.
So that we can love others.
Perfect.
So that's what we're going to do. We're going to talk about that. We're going to go into what it means to love ourselves and not to pretend that we don't have a feeling. If I'm feeling sad, that's a part of who I am as a human being. And I have to honor that so that I can move off of it and not stuff it down so that it keeps coming up.
Love it. So it's not about like a spiritual bypass where
no spiritual bypass.
Where you deny that you're feeling an experience or you're denying, if you have a diagnosis. No, you're not. You're actually, it sounds like about bringing it into the heart to love, to the, heart space to integrate, learn, and then release it. It sounds like, is that accurate?
Yeah. So like the mantra, we're going to do a mantra, 2 of them. And actually one of them is when I feel sad, I need more self-love, not less. When I don't know what I'm feeling, I need more self-love, not less. So that we can get out of that pattern of pushing it down and pretending. Spiritual bypass. Oh, I've been studying, unity for years and years and years. I'm not allowed to have these feelings anymore. We are so hard on ourselves. We are so hard on ourselves.
So go ahead.
No, and then we don't get in touch with we don't open our hearts. We don't get in touch with our innocence so that we can see the innocence in others. So
that sounds fantastic. It sounds transformative. And I can just tell by spending time with you that it's something that has been transformative for you.
Yes.
And isn't it wonderful that that when we teach, when we give, which is what you will be doing, that you get so much back. Like there's this flow that will happen in this class that is just, I already know is amazing.
We learn from the students. We're all teachers. We're all teachers. I don't care how new we are into anything. We're all teaching one another because everything is here to help us.
Right.
Everything.
And so how we say that in A Course in Miracles is the learner is the teacher and the teacher is the learner. And so it's really symbiotic. So we need each other, right? And
absolutely. Yeah.
And we need each other to return to love, which, we're always, we also talk about and teach that it's a return to not only love, but to self-love.
Right.
Yeah. And it sounds like that's a part of what you're going to be teaching. Wonderful. I think.
And how to get to neutral.
Yeah. Yeah.
How to get to neutral with everything.
Yeah.
Which is part of what you were saying before, how you look above the situation. That's how you get to neutral, right? Full of gratitude for, oh, I could go on and on, couldn't we?
We could go on and on.
We could.
But
I'm getting chills a lot.
Oh, that's
because it's
awesome.
exciting. Yeah.
Yeah. So thank you. Thank you for sharing your wisdom. Thank you for bringing us to love and to self-love. And we have an amazing song that Jesse and Amy are going to sing. So we definitely want to bring them back in now. Aren't they wonderful?
Oh,
yeah.
Oh, and they do come across very well over 1,000 miles. I love it.
Yeah.
They do.
Yeah.
I mean, I still consider myself a part of this community. I mean, so yes, I give.
What?
I text to give. Yes, I text to give.
Oh.
I consider myself a part of the community. Yes, I text to give.
Oh, wow.
So
thank you.
Oh, you're welcome.
Thank you for your gift.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
I mean, you're still my community no matter what. You're not getting rid of me.
Well,
okay. So anyway, I have seen them grow so much. It's unbelievable.
Right.
Oh, they are wonderful.
Yeah.
What a gift.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I feel like we always do an offering. And so you kind of, so when we do this, we'll at that point, we'll just say, thank you for your gift. And we thank you for your gift and how grateful we are. And what that does is it supports us and helps us to be doing exactly what we're doing now. And it helps us in our vision. It helps us and supports us in having the beautiful music that we are able to have. And so I'm just going to say, let's bring Jesse and Amy in now and take a listen to this song.
Thank you guys so much. So great to be back with you. Rev Eileen's upcoming workshop on Saturday is all about marrying the ego to the soul through self-love. And it's kind of a unique song to become this for me, but this is my self-love song. Whenever someone asks me to sing a song that I really like to sing, this is the one. This is my joy song. This is my self-love song. So hope you enjoy it as much as I love singing.
You'll never fall in love, and everybody keeps retreating, and you can't seem to get enough. Let my love open the door. Let my love open the door. Let my love open the door to your heart. When everything feels all over and everybody seems unkind, just let my love hold you closer. Take all the worry out of your mind. Let my love open the door. Let my love open the door. Let my love open the door to your heart, to your heart. I have the only key to your heart. I can stop you from falling apart. Release yourself from misery. It's only one thing's gonna set you free, and that's my love. That's my love. Da, 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 da. Ba, da, 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 da. When tragedy befalls you, don't let it drag you down. Yes, 'cause love can cure your problems. Eyes up, your feet on the ground. Yeah, let my love open the door. Let my love open the door. Let my love open the door to your heart, yeah. To your heart.
Halfway through that, you could change my to your, the whole song. Let your love open the door.
Yes.
Hope you enjoyed. Thank you.
Are we ready? Let my love
Open the door. Let my love open the door. Let my love open the door. Yay!
That's what we want to do.
Yay!
Let love open the door.
That was fun, but good thing we had Jesse and Amy, right? I mean, I'm not saying anything's wrong with your voice, but
I know I was off key. Are you kidding? I don't even know what the key was.
I don't either. That was fun, though. Here, right here. So, did you have fun? Because we sure did. And thank you. Thank you so much for joining us, Rev Eileen. And so, how grateful we are to have had this opportunity together and to have heard the beautiful music and the reminder and the joyfulness of letting our love open the door. And so we just pause in this moment and turn within to the love center of our being, which is the heart space, which is the representation, the body representation of an expansive, infinite love that not only exists within us, but is us. And so we allow that love to wash over us, to open the door, to assist us in receiving the pearls of grace through our gratitude through our joyfulness, through our very being, knowing that we are all divine emanations of this infinite energy called love. And so we return to love in this moment. We place the hand before the heart. And we say to the self, I am love. I am loved. I am lovable now and forevermore. And as we know this for ourselves, we can then so easily know this for all of our brothers and sisters, for all of creation. And this is how we shift and change the world. So I'm grateful for this experience. I'm grateful for this coming together. I'm grateful for this ministry and for Unity Naples. And we take a breath together as we pause to think of a gratitude within our very own lives. I am grateful for, and I listen. And I say, yes. Yes, thank you, Mother, Father, God, Infinite Spirit, that we each go forth from here knowing that we are blessed and that we extend this blessing to all. And so it is. Amen. Amen. And so we just invite you to this workshop, which will be Saturday at 10 o'clock. And you can go online at unitynaples.org. And we do invite you to please register. And then later on the same day, on Saturday, we have the amazing Aura, who will be doing a concert in our courtyard here. And if the weather doesn't cooperate, that we will move it into the sanctuary. So rain or shine, we will be having our concert series featuring Aura. And then on Sunday, we invite you either online or in person to come to our service, which is at 10 o'clock. And we will have a guest speaker, Reverend Maria Felipe, who has a book called Live Your Happy. And so we will be talking about how happiness is actually our function, our God-given function here in this experience. And then after that, there is also a workshop by Reverend Maria Felipe. And so if that's not enough for you, there's more winding around to the week where we have my beloved husband, known as Brother T, or Beloved T, as I call him, where we have our Course in Miracles workshop on Tuesday at, and what time is that at? 6:30. I'm getting my cue at 6:30. So please check that out. Know that that we are complete. I think that this is a wrap, Rev Eileen. We love you. We bless you. We're glad you're with us through Sunday. And until next time, we love you. Have a wonderful day.
Grateful, grateful. Yes, I'm grateful. Oh, yes, I'm grateful.